Hi, I'm Leah R. Evans, and I like to go by Leah Ruth the Truth on social media. I would like to thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Purge Box. Today, we're going to be diving into decluttering, just another way for purging. But before we dive into why I created this space, this environment for you to, I want to tap in to a video that I made the other day. If you go back into the history of this channel, I created a video and suggesting saying, YouTube is easy. It's easy to get views on YouTube. You can make money easy on YouTube and blah, blah, blah. And I also went into a kind of like an instructional video regarding the phone. If you're using your iPhone, I said, okay, you can set your settings to, turn that phone around, right? Look into the lens and take it from 4K and take it from the 30 to the 60. Well, don't do that. Do not. I'm going to tell you why. And I bought, let me tell y'all, right now, I purchased lip balm, right? Lip gloss from Temu. It's called Juicy, right? I brought 4 clear and I bought 4 whatever shade this is. I've already used 2 of these, and I never really paid attention to how it was making my lips plump up. On one of the videos, like, I don't even have control of my lips. And I did not know. And I had put it on. I put a lot of it on. And not only did it plump up my lips, it was making my face puffy. My face is still a little puffy, but my lips went down. So I want to say that if this is lip plumping lip balm, I don't need it. Like, I will never ever use this again. Decluttering tips for every age. Purging for every age. If you are in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s and beyond, stop the clutter. These tips are age-specific tips that I'm going to share with you today. So thanks so much for tuning in and stopping by. If you like this video, if you like my channel, give it a like. If you love it, subscribe. And if you have any questions, if there's a video or a topic that you want me to discuss within the box, within the purge box of purging limiting beliefs and manifesting generational wealth to purge generational poverty, like, that's kind of like where I'm at, and preparing yourself to position and prosper in today's time. And right now I'm an empty nester, and I'm going to touch on why reframing your age to embrace this phase and stage in life is important as an empty nester. So we're going to start with your 20-year-olds, decluttering for college students. So minimizing your dorm life essentials. What does that look like? Some of you come from families where you may be the first one to go to college, so they cannot give you the information that you need. What to bring is what you should be asking yourself. And what to leave behind, what not to bring. So now is a great time for you to start the decluttering, the purging process. Because throughout life, it's easier to shed things that no longer serve you than it is to continue to bring them with you. Figure out what it is you want to bring with you to college, to the dorm life. And what are you going to leave behind? Simple as that. Prioritizing space. Utilizing vertical storage and multiple purpose storage. For instance, when you get to your college dorm, you will probably have shelves already somewhere in the dorm. I suggest you purchase storage cubbies like this. You can buy storage cubbies. If you have shelves that looks like bookshelves, and you need more space to be more organized. You can buy storage cubbies. Measure the spaces and make sure you find the appropriate size for storage. That's a quick multi-purpose solution for you. Digital decluttering is also something that is mandatory for college, just so you can learn how to stay organized. It's preparing you for the adult life of organizing and decluttering. Manage your emails, managing your social media accounts, managing your online files, wherever you house those. Like a lot of you use Google Docs, and there's all type of apps for scanning software, apps for documents that you can file away on your laptop or on your iPhone. Social media, you may want to manage how you're posting your content. There are different apps that you can use to time everything and make sure that it's blanketing the web wherever you want your presence to be and where your audience is. Make sure you are decluttering your digital life, because your focus and your goal is to get the education while you're there. I like ease. I'm at a place in my life where if it ain't ease, if I can't feel ease, sit down and create space for me, like I don't want it, because I've had hard. Like hard is hard. I don't want anything hard anymore. Well, so we're going to get into what decluttering looks like for your 30-year-olds, your young professionals, your millennials, right? So we talked about your college students, that's your Generation Z. Your millennials, decluttering for you looks like, and even some of your 20-year-olds are young professionals, so it's not just millennials, but this is for your 20 and 30-year-olds, your Generation Z and millennials. Tackling your first apartment, decluttering. So I'm going to take it even deeper, because I am in the pre-phases of putting together an offer for homeowners who want to tap into their home equity, or perhaps don't even know that they're building equity and they've been living in their homes for 10, 20 plus years, and you've never touched your equity. Like, you are my ideal person, because that's what I have done. Like, so I've raised my children. Oh, we're going to get into that. I'm ready to skip. We'll talk about it. But yes, you're my ideal client. You're my ideal person. I have information for you that's going to help make your life a little easier and generate multiple income streams. So tackling that first apartment for you as a young professional, you graduated, you have your degrees, you landed the job of your dream. You're ready to go in there and show them what you're made of, roll up your sleeve and show up and get it done, right? Generate the income that you desire. So I suggest perhaps you might want to buy a house, especially now. And I don't mean buy it at the top of the market. You might want to buy a house that is a fixer-upper, but you can still live in it. You can turn the key and walk in and turn on the light, gas, water, sewage, flush toilets, take showers, cook your food, get up and go to work, and do that every day for the next 10, 20, 30 years. While you're there, I'm going to show you how to level it up. So you might want to buy a house, and while you're there, decluttering is a goal. It is your ultimate goal, because you're preparing for the next phase in life. And it's easier to start getting in the habit of scaling, of dissolving those hidden blocks. And I'm going to tell you, we hold energy in things. Like, this beverage is energy because it's fluid. And when it touches my body inside, the molecular aspects of this energy, whatever water is in here, is going to connect with the water in me. So it will behoove me to be in a good mood, to speak positive words, because words turn into things over this water or beverage that's in my hand. before I drink it. Good health and wealth and vitality is in this glass. I am drinking good health, wealth, and vitality. In the form of orange juice, peach, and mango. Delicious. Practical storage solutions for your first house and apartment means smart furniture choices. Just like it meant for the college Generation Z. So you're going to be wanting to, minimalize, build a capsule wardrobe. I wish someone taught me this when I was working in corporate America for 30 plus years. And I had a winter coat to match the winter boots, to match the purse, the belt, the boot, the bag, the blazer, the pantsuit, the dress suit, the dress, the jeans. Why? That was ridiculous. I probably had like over 200 pair of shoes, 40 coats. Like, why? I gave away more than half. I gave away a third. I gave away 3/4 rather of that stuff. And so now I'm at a place where I want to shed off a little more so that when I choose an environment, I guess that's when I'll feel like, okay, I can let go of really the rest, because based off of where I'm going to live, I may not need those heavy winter coats or those heavy winter boots and those heavier clothing type articles, right? So it's best to choose versatile pieces now for a minimalist closet, even emptying yourself now for later. Also, for you, decluttering organizationally, that's a digital organization. For you, that looks like streamlining finances, calendars, and work documents. Right? You had to level it up. So now not only are you managing emails and social media and online files, but you're streamlining your finances because you nailed the job. You're in a workplace, in an environment that you believe is conducive for yourself. If it's not conducive for yourself, you're in a toxic work environment. And I suggest before you quit that job, don't quit your job, that perhaps you may want to create a YouTube channel, because YouTube is making it easier right now in 2025 for new creators and new viewers to hop on, learn how to create your videos in the right settings, right camera equipment, and make it easy for yourself. Like, start generating those additional income streams now so you can begin scaling back if you're in an environment that is not conducive for your success. Decluttering for families. So now you're probably in your 40s, right? You're in your 30s and your 40s. And your children, some of you are in your 20s with children. I had 2 children in my 20s, and the third child I had when I was 30. So I went through this decluttering for families phase, not just for my home, but I also owned a 24-hour daycare center. So decluttering was like major, something major that I had to take into consideration every single day to be organized, right? So it's kid-friendly organization pretty much at this point as a family-oriented person. When you're decluttering, you're purging things in every room, and you're teaching your children what purging is and why it's so important, and cleansing. And we'll talk a little more about purging and really get into depth about spiritual cleansing and that aspect of purging, and how it truly is teaching them to let go of things, people, places, and things that doesn't serve them. That means creating designated play areas and storage solutions for your families. You may have a basement that, half of the basement your husband used as a man cave or something, and the other half can be a play area for your younger children, or a area that your teenage son or daughter wants to, work on their instruments and play the drums, right? Or whatever extracurricular activity that they may have going on at this age and stage in life. So you are the one responsible to creating and designating and organize those decluttering areas for your family. Now, when you're optimizing kitchen spaces and living rooms and family areas, those common shared spaces, then it may behoove you to remove a wall. And that's why I want to take it back to what decluttering looks like for young professionals. And when I said you might want to buy your first house, right? Start that investment process young now while you can, so you can build the equity as you get older and continue to generate, those income streams and the money that you need, that build that nest egg, right? So when it's time for you to travel at that age specific time, you've already done the framework to reap the benefits and the reward later. So for you, if you own your home, you can have a wall removed that's not a load bearing wall and create that optimized open end kitchen. You can level up the countertops and go from the wood and formica to quartz, or even take it even higher to marble, or whatever ceramics. I think quartz is a higher grade than the ceramic, but you get my point. So you're going to want to create a high-end experience, not just for your family and for yourself to enjoy, because you deserve it, because you work so hard and you want to see where you're putting all your money to. At least when you're putting it all into your home, later you can receive it in your equity. It's going to be there waiting for you times 2 or 3. That's when you really 2-3 times your life in your home and building up your equity. So decluttering for families is also streamlining family routines, like implementing chores, charts, and communication systems. Those communication systems could be notes on a refrigerator, if you're able to attach a note on your refrigerator, or a blackboard, or the iPad, or some type of whiteboard, or something, a chart that you could make out of poster board and put all the children's names and the days of the week, and give them a chore so that they can help keep their area of the house clean. If they have their own room, then they're responsible for decluttering. Like, teach them now so that they don't grow up later as a hoarder, and that's a psychosomatic problem, right? Because hoarders really need decluttering in their life, but they don't know how to let go of things. Perhaps they lost a loved one or a job, and perhaps it was like simultaneously. Then they lost their house, and they lost their car, and then they ended up getting another house, and now they're holding on to every single thing because all they have experienced is loss. You want to create healthy environments to teach your children. Now, loss is going to occur, but that does not mean that you have to have 10,000 newspapers in one room and just a little path to get through to go from your bathroom to your kitchen or whatever. Like, that's not healthy. And my goal is to help you create a healthy environment that is conducive for your success. How can you unlock hidden potentials when you can't even get to the front door to unlock it when somebody, when you have a guest, when somebody's knocking on the door? Like, come on, I keep it real. All right, so we're getting into, this is my phase of life. I'm an empty nester. This is where you want to start really, truly reframing your life and creating an environment, a new aspect of life that you can embrace, because this is a new beginning. Like, this is a whole nother prime, so to say, in my life, because now I can pat myself on the back. I did a good job as a single parent. Not only did I provide jobs in my community, but I raised 3 children who are now adults, and 2 of them have their own children, and they're all out of the house. And I have a house that built equity for 25, 26 years that I've never touched, that I bought $19.99 for $40,000. In today's market is 6 figures, multiple 6 figures. Like, I think I deserve it. I worked really hard. I remodeled it. I never touched that money that you can claim on your taxes after you remodel your home. You can let it sit there for a couple years. Be like, okay, I want to claim it now. So when I'm ready to move, not only am I able to cash out all the equity in my house, but I'm also able to write off all the money that I put into remodeling this house to create these communal, more optimized spaces for my family. So now I'm leveling up, because I'm not just thinking about the family, the right here and the right now, but I'm thinking about future families that I can rent this house out to and generate multiple income streams for. And that is a program, ladies and gentlemen, that I will be teaching for those who want to tap in and tune in and dial in on home equity and an income mastery program using your home. One house, you can generate multiple income streams. Okay, and I have a system to plug you into right away. So the systems agency, their listing agents, will begin going to work to generate the leads to bring to you, to knock on your front door, like, you got a room for me. Yes, I do. And instead of you charging, allowing property management to rent your house out, perhaps short-term rentals or long-term rental, just for one family, you can actually rent out every room and collect multiple different amounts of income streams that supersedes one monthly rent from one renter. Y'all gonna love this program that's coming out. I'm just gonna say that, because it's a game changer, and it's gonna level up your finances while you're building equity. So at this age, as an empty nester, you should be downsizing and simplifying, like myself, letting go of sentimental items and creating space for new adventures. That's what this phase is about. And you may have to sit your loved ones down. Your children, they may react in a way that completely surprises you, because they're used to mom and dad just always being there. And now you're like, listen, my job is done. And you know that you singing old biblical songs like, there's a leak in this old building, and my soul has gotta move. My soul has gotta move. There's a leak in this old building. My soul has got to move, and I'm going on to a place not made by man's hands. But before I get there, I'm going to live my life how I want. You might have to sing them old gospels like, hey, before I get to that old by and by place that is not made by man's hands, I'm going to experience some different places that is. That type of praying woman. And then if you are an empty nester that understands there's a leak in your building, you're getting older, not younger, you may be limping, you might have a piece of your spine missing, something's missing from your body, but it doesn't mean that you have to stay in a place of lack or an environment that's not serving you. So when you come to this space of creating new adventures and embracing and reframing life and what it looks like, you creating these new systems, because the one you've experienced does not work for you, and it's not going to work for your children. But only thing you can do is tell them what your plans are and stand on it and prepare for it, because now it's time for you to take action, and that's what I'm going to help you with. So the next phase is creating a comfortable living environment, optimizing furniture, lightning, and accessibilities, right? What does that look like? Perhaps suitcases, preparing for, your travel, um, getting rid of pieces of furniture that no one else wants or they don't need. If they are memories or of sentimental values, and if a museum will allow you to induct it, if it has a historical um, history about the city or the region that you're from, and if it was made there, or if they're, a big piece of furniture that a family member passed down from that region and it's historical, the museum may take it and along with the other memories and create space for you. Now that's a game changer. Now you're really talking about leveling up, right? But these are things that you could do for your digital archiving when you become an empty nester and organizing photos. I'm getting hot. And documents and memories for future generations. So decluttering for seniors is our next step. Now, my mom, she lived to be 86 and a half. She passed away July 18, 2024. My father lived to be 69. He passed away May 17, 1997. He would be 97 today. Decluttering was hard. When we moved from one location while mom and dad was still alive, mom and dad had 6 children, 4 girls, 2 boys. I'm the 4th child. I was born May 13th. And I tell you, it was like pack rat alley. Like, yo. That's what I learned what a pack rat was. I'm like, woo, I'm not going to be like mom and dad when I get old and move and have a house, because it took all day to move from one place to the next. To the point that one of my cousins got so tired, he started sweeping stuff off the truck with a broom. It was just big pieces of stuff. Like, y'all don't be like that. Don't allow your parents to get to that point. So if they're in a position where they can't do the decluttering, you need to do it for them. And that's making homes accessible and easy to navigate, because as we age, like, things can get in your way. Like, you can fall, you can get hurt, you may need a lift chair, you may need to get rid of that big lazy boy that you had and that sofa that no one never wants to sit on because you raised 14 dogs on that sofa and you never wanted to get rid of it. And so yeah, there's that. Then you may need the elevator lift. Like, there's things you may have to do to create that safe space for your aging parents and even yourself when you get to that age. So downsizing and moving, making difficult choices with dignity and care. I just spoke on the indignant effort of my cousin who's deceased. May the Most High bless his soul. He was one of my favorite cousins. My brother Jay, my oldest brother, is deceased. He actually passed away on his birthday. My family members, we come and go on death days and birthdays. It's like that. Or boom, 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 days in a row, or the same days throughout history. That's how close we are. And so it's just, you have to create, environments and be cognitive of, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Even though this stuff looks like junk to me, this was something that they held very highly and they valued deeply. So declutter with dignity. And last but not least is a digital legacy. So for them, when my mom was still alive, like, I asked her questions before she passed, like, Mom, we're not even going to act like this is not going to happen. What do you want your obituary to say? And she told me. I was the first black employee at Radio Parts Company in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Mr. Applebaum was my employer, and his son Leonard and I were in class, and I was the secretary at Peabody High School in that class, 2 classes, one graduated in January and one graduated in June. And she was a secretary, and she was bright, and she was beautiful, and she was the secretary and a student, and she had work credits, and she got out of school early, and she applied for a job, and the radio company saw her resume, and they're like, oh, she's a good secretary for a school. Okay, she go work for us. She was the first black employee at that company in Pittsburgh. And when she was there, she said she recalled Leonard coming in. She didn't know they were related, didn't pay attention to the last name. And he's like, oh, Legine, what are you doing here? And he's like, hey, Leonard, I work here. And he's like, hey, Dad. And he went and got his father, like, that's my buddy Legine. And he said, that's my pal, Legine. Legine is my pal. My mom's name is Legine, Lagene. And he says, Legine is my pal. And I didn't know you hired her. And he was like, well, that's your friend. Your friend is a friend of ours, and we're treating her like family. And they all treated her like family. And going through leaving a well-organized digital footprint for your loved ones, keep that in mind. So I just wanted to share that with you. Those are age-specific tips to get organized and decluttering tips for every age. Thank you so much for watching. If you are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s and beyond, stay tuned to this channel, especially if you're a homeowner, if you're participating on purchasing a home. I have some tips for home equity growth and income streams. Have a wonderful day, Mishpachah.